Yeah, that's good information for people. I appreciate you sharing that. Now, a little bit of a surprise before the Olympics, got some news come out about a pro league going on in Australia. What kind of information can you share with us about that?
So we were approached. This is probably a couple of years ago. In fact, it all started with trying to get ISL to be have Australia as one of its destinations, as one of its, I guess, clusters. That was probably where it all started. And then COVID hit, because there was going to be, I think there was going to be, or there was discussion. COVID hit, and then the group that was looking to do that, they're involved with professional basketball and others. They basically said to Swimming Australia and myself, is there a desire for some sort of domestic professional league? We said absolutely, because I don't know if you remember swimming in the National League in the late 90s. You remember swimming in that league? Yeah. So we had the National League back then, which was something Talbot put in place. And I said, shit, hey, if you're prepared to fund it, absolutely. We need some sort of domestic racing opportunity that's short, sharp, and fast, that gives our athletes a chance to race in training, during training. And they said, yeah, we want to do that. So they've formed a partnership with Swimming Australia, which is to deliver the product and work with us from a technical point of view. So basically, after the Olympics, so right now I'm going to start working with them and our coaches, because the coaches are the key to shaping something within our calendar that allows us to have our not only our big hitters, but our up and comers race regularly over a short period of time, in a short format, and unique. And they're going to do some unique things, because these people are commercially minded. They know that just your basic swim meet, other than the Olympic trials and Olympics, it doesn't get viewership. So there's going to be some unique things in there. I don't know what they've come up with, but that's my next, when I get out of lockdown, that'll be my next thing. But in short, it's going to be, something that by 2023, we should have a league that will run somewhere between 2 and 4 weeks, depending on how much the coaches are willing to give up. Likely, there'll be, I think, to say what the ISL is doing and has brought to Australians is teams, racing in teams format, racing for points, and having that kind of connection, social connection, obviously, and dollars. What we want to use it for is to create a feeder system into that league. So this is not to be in competition. This is a feeder system. Right. And the biggest thing, Brett, for me is it's got to agitate and influence down into our sport, because those that live in Australia know, if you're a parent, you take your kid to the local, Chandler or the big pools, and they swim their first race at 9 a.m., their second race at 11, the third race at 1:30, and their fourth race at 4 p.m. And you sit there all day to watch them swim a club meet. And it's all about, like, no, we want clubs being able to go pick 4 other clubs and say, let's meet up and run a meet. We're going to do it over 2 hours. They're going to do those 4 races in 35 minutes or 40 minutes or 50 minutes. They're going to race for points. They're going to do relays, and we're going to go home. We have a sausage sizzle. We'll go home, and everybody's happy. That's why my kids play basketball, but they don't swim, because I can go watch it, and I can be home. It's all done within an hour and a half.
Right.
And that's why I'm hoping it bridges the gap between what the ISL is trying to achieve and what we need to happen competitively. So I'm all in to see it become something successful. I got asked by quite a lot. Just I'll say this on your show, but I got asked by quite a few coaches over in Tokyo. Will internationals be part of this? Will internationals be part of this? I think if the opportunity presents itself down the track, I definitely think that You know, if you look at the IPL model or the cricket type model where you have, or even international basketball where you have like spots for imports, I definitely think that's something that could be and should be looked at. But make no mistake, this is separate to ISL. This is something for us to do domestically. And if we could bring in big hitters who want to come down and do a camp in Australia and race for a few weeks, and they can be in a team, absolutely, I would love to see that happen. But we're probably a few years away from that because we just got to get the product right.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds awesome. I like the idea of more racing. It kind of goes against what Australia's used to, really, because it's used to more big training blocks because of the lack of competition. And so I think it will be a shift for coaches for sure. How does it not compete with the ISL though? Like, are you planning around the ISL season, or are you really not looking at it? You're just looking at when does it suit us, and if it's during the ISL season, that's the way it is. Like, how does it work together?
Well, ultimately, number one, we would like it to operate outside of ISL, but we need to know what they're doing. Like, you know, the more in advance we know. So to answer your first question, it's outside, but we do understand that there may be crossover, and those big hitters who do ISL will not be there, but we'll still have a league going for our under athletes who aren't in ISL, and there'll be opportunities for our top age group swimmers. And you know, Brett, our top age group swimmers, the ones that win at national age, they're the ones that you saw on the dais, the Ariane Titmus, the Kaylee McEwens, the Emma McKeons, the Carl Chalmers, the Zach Stubley-Cook, 14 years old, broke the Australian record in the 200 breaststroke. We know that we know who they are when they're young. We need to give them more racing opportunities. And for me, growing up in the States, you know, I went through high school and college racing, and the amount of meaningful race starts I got as a swimmer compared to what I would have gotten as an athlete in Australia is chalk and cheese. Gennady Tereski used to say to me, "We only prepare our age group swimmers to swim fast once a year, national age, and that's it." And I always thought about that, like, yeah, we really don't put our kids under pressure to compete enough. So we need to just create ways to do it, and that's something that I think you know, I look forward to, and it's definitely what we all want. It's not about tapering for those events; it's about racing and training, learning how to compete.
Yeah.